Certainly did, and he's actually going to get addressed here in Champion Select as the Hecarim banned away first by OMG. Vladimir is going to follow up on the blue side. The Braum first pick. Braum has been, despite the fact that 5 didn't manage to win, it hasn't actually won a game in this series so far. It is definitely a good choice. We'll see what they decide to do to augment it. As Shia. Oh, Shia.
Jesus, look at him. He's contemplating life at the moment.
He just always wants to pick Maokai, and he's going to pick Maokai again for the 14th time this split of the LPL. And look, it's fine. He wants to be a tree. We've spoken about it many a time.
But yeah, Maokai is a great pick. It's a pick that not a lot of teams really favor, obviously, because the laning phase feels a bit dull.
Yeah.
A lot of other champions, like Shen, is a lot more, I want to say, selfish with their split pushing, but at the same time, selfless in the sense that they have a lot more pressure, global pressure.
Yep.
Maokai doesn't offer that. You're a little bit more tied towards your TP. So it's a great pick. It works really well for Xiong, and it could have worked incredibly well last game if they didn't get completely flanked out. And the Lissandra is the ticket.
It most certainly is. Caveman as well, able to get that 4-man pulverize in that big highlight play.
Yeah.
Around that banana brush towards the Dragon Pit. So very important. Caveman has picked himself up a few MVPs on this champion, and we'll see whether he can do it again moving into Game 3 as Zhuizhui looking for more comfort and locks away the Graves. That's the Braum for 5 as well. And OMG want to go out with a bang.
Yeah, so they have a lot of frontline pressure with the Maokai, they're going up against the Braum, and most likely either Kog'Maw or Twitch. You are able to look the pressure. I do actually favor Twitch Braum against Alistar Jhin. I do think if you look the pressure in, you can get a nice pick off of Jhin, but they don't go that route.
Yeah, decide not to. There's Icon thinking about what he wants to take into the mid lane. Will be against EasyHoon's Lissandra one more time, and he takes away the Syndra once again. A very similar composition now with Zhuizhui's Graves instead of his Elise.
Yeah, so Zhuizhui now has a lot more carry potential in that one. So his 3-0 of last game could definitely turn into some helpful items. Look to carry on as the game goes forward.
And bit of extra wave clear as well, which is handy.
Exactly. And so the Syndra last game didn't work out all too well, especially in the same matchup that Vici has. So you have to watch out. He has to... Sure, Syndra does have a lot of strength in the lane, especially against the Gragas, though. You might just look to get picked out.
Well, hasn't been locked in just yet. Does work out very similarly to that of the Malzahar pickup, though, because Lissandra, of course, can throw down a Frozen Tomb and lock up whoever gets knocked back, but doesn't look to be the case, as Dandy's going to switch over to the Rek'Sai, much like game number 1. Big smile on his face. He's happy with the Rek'Sai pick. Now Vici, their roster secured. Not as much hyperscaling range from the Eddie carry position out of this team anymore now that the Jhin has been picked up. Raw damage, but the coaches are going to shake hands. Let's get into game number 3 between Vici and OMG. Thank you very much, Dandy, and here we are on the riff for game number 3 between OMG and Vici. Icon, you can see, switched up the skins. We'll see whether that is going to help him achieve victory this time around. As the only real change that OMG made was denying Dandy his Hecarim and giving Zhuizhui his Graves one more time.
The water skin kind of blended in if you're in the ocean. Now, Icon just sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, Queen of Hearts.
So, not sure if that's going to help. In fact, you're red, kind of pinky, a little bit of a pinkish color. a bit more of a target.
That's true. Maybe that's his strategy, though.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe he wants to paint a target on his back so that SMLZ can go off.
We'll see if that turns out to be the case. I do like the change from OMG's composition. Joy has a lot of carry potential, so if you give him the Graves, maybe even the Lee Sin pick, but they went for Graves this time around.
Yeah.
Should work out for them. Let's see how much damage you can see from this composition.
It's also skin swap for SMLZ as well. He decided instead of being the lion dance, he wanted to be an oven. And he is going to be an oven there on the bottom side of the map.
I just got that oven. Yeah.
He's an oven. Look at him. He's just an oven.
I'm just going to tell you that skin is far too large.
It is a big skin.
It feels like he's actually larger than the Braum itself. That just does not feel natural.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It is very strange, but at least he melds in with the ground a little bit more. There's Xuan P able to take down that Gromp very quickly. SMLZ and 5 able to do the same thing, as it is going to be the red start here for Zhuezhui as he heads straight into the enemy jungle.
Ooh.
This is cute. Wants
This is
to
really
steal
fun.
away the blue buff.
On top of that, he knew that Rek'Sai is going to be starting topside. Able to steal the blue, maybe even look for the 3 buff. Hell, if he just goes for the second buff, he can actually impact this lane immediately. That's a Jhin into a Braum Kog'Maw. So if he takes this blue buff, Rek'Sai is going to be coming in, sure, but a little bit late to the party. So I'm going to see if he paths towards this lane.
He is heading down there. Already SMLZ taking a little bit of damage. But they do rely on that Winter's Bite landing, or 5 getting a flash auto attack.
Oh
There's the flash that comes in, and Xuan P just gets collapsed on. That is going to be the pop as end of the line comes in. SMLZ in trouble, but dodges out of the way. That's going to be first blood for the Kog'Maw. And OMG off to a great start.
What was that? Caveman looked to initiate on that one.
And EasyHoon had his teleport cancelled as well from Icon.
I think he just outright. That's a good point. Whether he canceled it or if he.
Oh, that's true. Does he even have Scout of the Week yet is the question.
Yeah, because in my opinion, there was no reason for EasyHoon to commit because there were 3 people down there. They didn't expect Graves to be in that lane. The moment he showed himself, they got the kill on Xuan P. It just feels like him showing up to that lane was not a smart thing. So that was a really, really smart start from Zhuezhui. And it looks like he was very lucky because Vici decided to actually engage in the same time that he looked to walk in.
Yeah. Zhuezhui now getting more vision down. Nice dodge there from Icon here in the mid lane against EasyHoon. 20-21. Things going fine so far for the Syndra. Of course, they did in the laning phase and generally do in the laning phase for the champion. She's quite oppressive.
Yep. Something about Syndra is, especially like last game was fun because once Icon got singled out and killed, he was actually still a threat, completely shoving EasyHoon into his tower. So once Icon does get levels, especially if he isn't dealt with, can be a big problem for EasyHoon here.
You can see right now it's just Qs being traded one after the other. 5 and SMLZ still having a good time here in this lane, and that range advantage is going to be a big deal. Which is interesting, talking about the fact that, you know, it's Jhin. He's got arguably the largest range on 2 of his abilities.
Yep.
But still, not able to auto-attack, not able to get that consistent damage like the Kog'Maw can.
And especially after the first blood coming down, he doesn't even want to walk up to Braum Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw does have double dagger, which does mean a lot, especially with a Braum lane. Oh,
there's the flash Winter's Bite. Lands from 5 as end of the line does so much damage. Good stun as Zhuezhui following this one through. Picks up the kill for himself, and they're picking on Xuan P this game.
Yeah, he doesn't have flash. That's a repeat gank. On top of that, you have Graves and Kog'Maw tagged up with Braum. Any skirmish you go up against them, they will easily proc their stun on their Braum stun. So right now, Xuan P has to watch out. I mean, it feels like it's too late. He's 20 CS behind.
Just insane. And the fact that SMLZ is now getting ahead on this Kog'Maw, that is the biggest deal. Because Kog'Maw getting a free lane, not the champion that you want having a free lane.
especially since this does shift a lot of focus that Vici does now have, right? Last game, Syndra didn't have as much freedom because Vici was able to just target out Icon at every point. They had the freedom to do that. Now that you have a Kog'Maw seemingly getting out of control, a Graves now farming up quite well with his now new longsword and boots on top of that, because he did get the 1 kill and the 1 assist. It seems like Dandy has to go and pressure bottom lane.
Yeah. Dandy at the moment up towards the top side of the map. Just wanting to keep the jungle on farm as much as possible. He's doing a great job keeping it bare. As, at least Caveman does have a triumphant roar. Keep things okay. Oh, SMLZ nails the cannon creep. Yeah. So this game still going.
They have to watch out now. Vici, it feels like every time their bottom lane pushes out, a massive target is on their back. So this is another wave coming in, and Graves is heading straight bot.
Oh, once again. Does, of course, have a Krug camp that he can take, the last remaining one on his map, and his red buff will be up relatively soon. But in goes 5 one more time. That's stun. One more auto attack, but for SMLZ can't find the positioning. As Icon looking for Dandy. Gets the positioning of this jungler, which is very important, but EasyHoon can come over the top. Stun lands.
Yeah, they have a bit of damage. The fact that it looks like they couldn't even get the ward. They're able to place their own ward down. Dandy's doing his hardest right now to get as much pressure so he can actually influence this bottom lane, or at least how far they can walk up.
Well, at the moment, SMLZ holding this wave as best he can, wanting to keep this 20 CS advantage for the Kog'Maw. P at least isn't letting it get any further and has himself the swiftness boot. So not going to be doing a whole lot of damage, but it will at least give him the best opportunity to get out of these gank situations. Have been raining down on top of him. Nice little taunt up there onto Xiang. Tries to get his sap magic down. But Zhuezhui and Icon both roaming up, and it could be a dive now on the Shen.
This would be a prime dive. They have the wave. Maybe it's going to be on this wave.
Well, end of the line is possible. They decide not to go for the twisted advance. There's the flash to get them out of the way. Collateral damage comes in. They do a lot of damage, but that is not the kill, and Lung survives.
Really well played from OMG to back away entirely, because that was a TP expended from EasyHoon, and on top of that, Dandy did ulti towards that lane. It does give up and free up a lot of pressure for this bottom lane to do whatever they want.
Yeah, P is utilizing that as well as Caveman flashes, turns it around, gets the headbutt onto SMLZ. He's in turret range, but the heal goes down. There stands United as in goes P. Lung locks down the kill, and now 5 is going to fall. They did not account for the Shen turning up, and the Kog'Maw goes too aggressive.
The Caveman headbutt, not even a headbutt, pulverize, the flash pulverize and headbutt towards the tower. So not only did Kog'Maw take that extra tower damage, not only did he get exhausted so he couldn't even deal as much return damage, but the Shen ulti coming down. That is pretty damaging for OMG. That was what they were looking to hope and pray on. So hopefully, at the very least, at one point that they can take away from this is that only assist gold coming on to Jin.
That's true.
So that's the only thing they could really take away.
But it's going to be a lane swap now, actually, as Xiang does need to be careful. He shoves that wave forward. He's going to back out of the way of the area, but in goes Dandy. They're looking to lock down the tree. Tremorsense spots out where he is. He gets knocked up.
He has no flash.
We'll see where the Caveman can get here in time, and no, it doesn't look like he can, as Dandy just tracking the movements of the tree. EasyHoon not coming around. And Xiang will be safe for the moment. Oh, there's the deadly flourish. The ultimate comes out. Xiang will need to dodge these, but the knockups are too much, and Vici grab it.
They chase the kill, but the one reality here is that OMG is easily able to push this through now at the sacrifice to Xiang's life.
Well, this turret at full health.
P only had 2 bullets there, so this is going to be a slow push coming in from Vici. They can't afford to continue to pressure after this tower. They need to look to, or at least plan towards defending the inner and the bot tower.
Well, Zhuezhui now looking to try and grab this Cloud Drake on his own. Tower, of course, now going to deny a whole bunch of minions before it falls down. Vici will see whether they decide to push this one forward. Yep, turret local gold is going to go to SMLZ. And The farm alarm comes down from Dandy, gets himself over to the side. Cloud Drake falls in favor of OMG.
So they do look for only one tower. They dirty farmed a bit, got the first Cloud Dragon. That's a fair enough trade for Xiang's life.
But now Wit's End is completed for SMLZ. Could be a good point. Now they're heading up towards the top side of the map, want to clear out as many structures as they can. Looks to be the gentleman's agreement. Now happening just a little bit later. As Icon's going to turn up. Good stun onto Easy Hoon, but my god, everyone's here. And Vici just take down Syndra like it was their only job.
It rained down pings, and you can tell that every single person on that Vici lineup knew what it meant.
Oh, yeah.
That should be a massive chunk to this mid tower. They should be able to get it. Graves does have quite a bit of wave clear. It's going to be mid-wave, mid-lane, mid-range wave clear. And, of course, he still has his ultis, so push comes to shove, he's willing to use it.
Well, Xiang here, able to shove this wave forward. We'll see whether he actually gets caught out by long as he just grabs the Raptor. And they will now claim vision on this top side. Xuan P and Caveman will be able to take down this turret, but same thing to happen on this side of OMG. And the map is getting accelerated, but no one really taking advantage of this situation. More just Vici dodging out of this bottom lane from OMG. We'll see whether they can get it on this wave. Vici do have one crashing, and it's going to crash on the top side of the map as well.
Yeah, Vici's going to have to wait a little bit. They have the extra wave. They're going to have to wait until they completely deny. Meanwhile, Vici is, OMG I mean, is just shoving this into the second tower.
Yeah, Joy is going to turn up as well. Lots of turret damage available now for this team. As Easy Hoon walks over the vision, he's going to be spotted out. He uses his Glacial Path defensively. OMG now. No, they've got as much damage on this turret as they can.
Rotating this mid.
Yeah, and Icon going to be able to pick up a lot of work. Oh, that Scatter the Weak was close onto Easy Hoon. Keeps himself alive and now half health on this outer turret in the mid lane. Good map movements once again for OMG. Feels similar to game number one.
Yeah, and sure, Jin was dodging out in the standard lanes, but OMG at every point have the faster push. So they need to watch out now.
5 members. Caveman with a massive engage. Look at that snap from Easy Hoon onto 5 members as 5 is in trouble. Icon picks up the kill onto Dandy, but it's answered as Shui now
alive.
has to be careful. He's alive. Moves over to the side as Icon, surrounded by orbs, dodges out of the way of the Deadly Flourish. Now able to throw down another Dark Sphere, and Xiang still a big front line. In goes Easy Hoon. Icon missteps, unfortunately. And now SMLZ has to run the heck out of the way. 2 bullets left. There's Deadly Flourish. Shui got a smite on the red buff, but it's a double kill now for the Jin. And Shui has to get himself out.
Game's really opening up here.
Oh, the headbutt. Pov stands united onto Caveman. They will be able to take down Shui. Dandy gets it. Utilizes his Tiamat in order to get there as well. And Vici win that fight considerably.
Yeah, time and time. 2 games in a row. Wombo combo coming down with basically Easy Hoon's incredible ulti.
Oh yeah,
they're just able.
It was a W. It was this Ring of Frost. 5 people.
Yep.
Just insane.
So they're preying on the fact that OMG, they have the team comp that they do want to stack with, and not only do they want to stack, that's just their style. They play together as a unit, and that's starting to really bite them.
Yeah, and they don't have the Vengeful Maelstrom stacked up to a high enough level yet to deny this AoE damage coming out of Vici. They get these Wombos, they are going to stick. And SMLZ survived that fight, but he just wasn't big enough yet. Has the Wit's End, has another recurve bow. It's getting closer and closer, but it's not working out just yet. 2,000 gold the lead for Vici here in the deciding game. Looking to ride their momentum from game 2 and solidify their playoff spot. Voidooz comes out. SMLZ can't find a Shen, who's now 3-0-3. A much better game for long as Dash Cannon comes through. Icon dodges out of the way of the Deadly Flourish. Ooh. Nice Unbreakable from 5. Denies Easy Hoon's entry. There's Xiang looking for a flank.
That was really smart. They used the Dash Cannon to look to get the pick with Xuan P's snare.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, but that was a great look nonetheless. So the fact that
You can rinse and repeat that, right?
yeah,
40 seconds.
Exactly. Syndra right now is a walking target. Does have cleanse, but if the team isn't there to look to protect or even just there to look to wave clear along with Syndra, she's gonna get picked.
Yeah. It's feeling very dangerous for Icon. Of course, was able to pick up 1 kill in the last fight. As Dandy underground, unfortunately, so didn't see anyone. Tremendous doesn't work when they're just recalling. Xiang picks up this wave that Lung shoves towards him. We'll be able to answer at least the CS. It's now Icon, you can see, playing very far back. Cleans up the farm, though. We'll see where Vici's next target is, what they want to do as far as utilizing this advantage that they do have, as slight as it may be.
They can just constantly look to shove out these sides and walk mid, because I feel like OMG is just not respecting the pressure coming towards mid. This tower is constantly getting shoved in, and even though Syndra, yeah, sure, she can clear that wave, but she has to risk her life to do so.
Yeah.
She has to walk up to that wave, and if she ever does, she will get picked. It's a fairly awkward position for her.
And now, Shuanchuanpi going to help Dandy taking down this dragon. Full vision available from OMG as there is a teleport here for Xiang if they want to lock it down. Rift Herald now being considered on the other side of the map, as Dandy will be able to take this quite easily. There's going to be a Mountain Drake, which is a big deal. SMLZ able to help out considerably on this Rift Herald as it's taken down low and destroyed. And we'll see whether Xiang's going to be the one that grabs that glimpse of the void. And he does.
Look to combat that pressure from Shen. Good look from some players would rather have it on the Graves pick, of course. A lot more valuable on the auto attacks, but the range does mean a lot. There's a damage reduction on the range champions.
Whoa, in they go. There's Dandy getting the knock-up on SMLZ. He flashes out of the way. Good knock-up from 5 with the ultimate as the exhaust on Long is doing a whole bunch of work. The W wears off as they're trying to get underneath this turret.
Comeback.
But OMG turning it all around. EasyHoon finds a kill on his own off to the side, but the team fight already being won here by OMG. They pick up 2 in trade of 1.
It felt like Xiang was the main damage dealer in that fight.
Yeah, what a beast.
But you dive so far back into OMG, they honestly go backwards. They look to protect SMLZ, and they're able to kite backwards. Oh, there we go.
Nice door set up by 5. As they get out of vision range, the last bullet doesn't find SMLZ.
But yeah, this team, they kite well back to save SMLZ. Preferably Icon as well, able to get picked out alone. But of course, once they were able to save out their backline, they just barreled through the enemy team.
Yeah. And that is going to be the Hurricane picked up by SMLZ as well. Moving towards item number 3. See what he decides to pick up. Whether he goes once again towards that Blade of the Ruined King. Or now wants to have a little bit more snipe potential, a little bit more, I guess, sustain. I feel like Ginsu's gives you a bit more sustain than the old Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah.
Just with that passive. Now 5 clears out the cannon creep for his AD carry. Living Artillery does the rest. Shuanchuanpi now gets himself a red buff, moves towards the top side of the map. As Long is there, Xiang looking to try and stop him. Zhuizhui in amongst it at the same time. And everyone on Vici actually converging. We'll see whether OMG can react accordingly. Icon clears out mid. That is going to be fine, but Vici looking to make a move. Stand United's there. They want this blue buff if they can get it.
What they do want is pressure on this side of the map, because Baron's up. 20 minutes, they probably won't be able to look to threaten it, but the fact that they can clear out this vision, constantly force OMG to smite and rotate,
ooh, good stun,
is a good start for them.
Yeah, decent poke actually coming in from Shuanchuanpi with the Deadly Flourish. Still, 20 CS behind, but he's starting to build towards these items. He's got another Serrated Dirk. He's got the Ghost Blade. It looks like he's building towards Last Whisper as well before he finishes any Duskblade, anything like that, or more of Malmortius if he decides to pick that item up as well. A lot of magic damage coming out of OMG. I feel like a Maul would be quite beneficial.
Yeah, but if you are Swan P, you have to watch out. Itemizing really won't save you much. The Syndra can just blow you up. And so, OMG once again coming out with the Syndra pick. Once again coming out with the Maokai as well. So if you are ever in a poor position, you can get blown up. So they have to watch out. I say this time and time again, but it doesn't really matter how much of a gold advantage. Right now, it's not that much. It's 1K.
Yeah, it's nothing at all.
But the pick potential coming out of OMG is meaningful.
They also still have that late game win condition in SMLZ's Kog'Maw, not to be answered by something like a Twitch, who can do a very similar thing. And Void Stuff now done second item here for Icon as well, so he's looking to try and fight, and probably fight soon. More almost completed here by Zhuezhui, but that Hex Drinker is going to be important against EasyHoon.
Yeah, OMG is rotating towards this mid turret. They'll be able to fend off the first wave. Next wave should be coming up in about 10 seconds. Depends, I wonder if Vici is going to be looking to protect that wave and look to siege off that.
Well, at the moment, it's looking difficult just because Icon has had so much success instant clearing waves. Xiong as well now dealing with this creep wave quite nicely as he looks for his Frozen Heart second item.
It is a cannon wave. They can't really commit. So they're going to look to try and 1-3-1 this.
And Deadly Flourish going to come in. SMLZ just locks down the farm. And 5 going to grab that last one with that Winter's Bite. Ooh, SMLZ actually has the QSS completed as well. Very important against this hard lockdown of the Frozen Tomb from EasyHoon. Didn't mean the rhyme. That was unfortunate.
Depends on who you ask whether that was fortunate or not. I appreciated that.
Oh yeah? Bit of a poet yourself?
Yeah.
I like it. Well, SMLZ, he's also able to deal with these creep waves quite nicely. EasyHoon goes back to base, grabs himself a Fiendish Codex, building towards his Zhonya's Hourglass for the 40% CDR that he will gain after that is purchased. Of course, that item doesn't have 40% itself. That would be silly. And a little bit too much.
A bit. I would have a word with the balance team if we had a insta 40% CDR item.
Yeah. I feel like all of the 20% CDR items are good enough as they are. Let's be honest. There's now OMG moving over towards this Dragon Pit area.
It is infernal.
Yeah. No, it's a cloud.
There's just a tunnel over it, a red tunnel.
Yeah, OMG do want the second cloud though, to stack them up. 50 movement speed, a little bit better as Caveman possibly caught, uses the ultimate, doesn't find the pulverize onto Xiong. Good positioning as Dandy, there's full vision of him, they know exactly what's going on, and now they're moving over. Does have to peel off as SMLZ picks up the dragon aggro. Zhuezhui, Frozen Tomb comes in, there's the follow-up CC as they grab the dragon but lose their jungler.
So it looked to be a great position for OMG because Unbreakable Will was used by Caveman. Caveman had to back away from the situation entirely. OMG walks to the dragon, but not as a team.
Well, Stand United actually coming in from long as he's looking to find his way in there. Caveman gets a headbutt onto a minion, but it's not what he really wants as SMLZ unloads. Caveman in trouble as SMLZ's off to the side. Can he get it done, though, as Xuan P finds him? 5 gets exhausted and destroyed. SMLZ uses his QSS. EasyHoon's going to fall. Lung gets the last auto attack and will be able to lock him down. Xuan P on the other side. Xiong might be able to lock that one down, but it's a triple kill from the Akathian Surprise that's locking it up. Zhuezhui's back up again, but in the end, it was a 3-for-4 in favor of Vici.
That felt like it should have been much more in favor of Vici, but that was an incredible
Still going.
Oh, he's just smacking him.
Yeah, the wet noodle fight.
Yeah, but that was really, really well done from OMG to minimize the damage that really came from it. But if you're Graves, Graves should not have gotten picked to begin with.
Yeah.
Should have been with the team. But here, the biggest point was the re-engage happened when SMLZ's W was down on cooldown. The moment it went down, Vici and OMG started to re-engage that fight. Really awkward for him. He had to walk farther in. Really awkward situation for him. He did deal out a lot of damage. Could be more. Could be more.
Well, see whether it's going to go differently next time around because that was extraordinarily even. Both teams probably happy to take fights. Moving on this game, understanding that if Vici are able to nail their teamfight coordination from last game, would feel good. If OMG can get these fights in the right spots like they were able to in game number 1, I'd also be happy with it.
Yeah, Hope's still alive here. OMG is actually ahead in gold, although they are behind in the kills themselves.
Yeah.
A lot of farm being accrued by the Kog'Maw. Now, it's a lot harder generally for Jin to be able to farm up. He has a bit of an issue in terms of safety and clearing out the sideways, especially
This takes him longer, right? Because he doesn't have the attack speed.
Yeah, and Easy Hoon, that and on top of that, he does want to rotate with pressure, and Easy Hoon's going to be taking the side wave. So he's been having a tough time finding the farm. So on top of that, we have ourselves a situation where OMG, they still have team fights. LGD is probably in the back, wondering who will take it.
Yeah, hoping desperately that OMG keep their dreams alive as this outer turret, slowly but surely, getting taken down lower and lower. Easy Hoon split pushing on the bottom side, though, will start moving this one out. Because it looks like Vici going to concede this outer turret. Rage ducks in, grabs himself some Raptors. Now we'll move back to the mid lane, where OMG continue this pressure.
And so the 3-man unit in Vici did have to back away. So that's a free mid-tower advantage for the first time for OMG this set here.
Which is interesting, given the fact that, you know, this is OMG, and historically, they were known as the team that would put the most pressure on the mid lane outer turret out of any other team in LPL history. Of course, this was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, well now you have SMLZ on your team. A lot of your... Oh, here we go.
Easy Hoon in
This
trouble.
is a poor
Has to Zhonya's as the concussive blows comes in. Ultimate doesn't catch him out, though, but that's a lot of buttons used by Easy Hoon to keep himself alive. Good work holding onto the ultimate for the potential re-engage, but whew, close.
Yeah, that could have been it for Vici. So now OMG, they do have the advantage next team fight. Easy Hoon didn't have flash, so he will have flash going forward in the next few seconds. So it's not too big of a deal. He does not have the Zhonyas, of course, so if the fight were to happen, that would be the time.
Yeah. Danny getting himself some vision back as Rage, he's going to head back home. Icon, of course, able to throw some minions around, clear out all of that farm, and is now heading back to base. Continues to stay quiet, far ahead as far as farm. Kog'Maw goes back, and that is the Blade of the Ruined King purchased from just the recurve bow. Big spike in 3 items now for SMLZ, including the additional purchase of the QSS.
Yeah, a lot of them look to reset at the same time to hit down some big items. It's going to be unfortunate because they sacrificed a good amount of vision and control over this Baron, and 28 minutes into the game, they have to look to fight back for.
Yeah, P throws down a Deadly Flourish. Wonder whether he was looking for Jue. Not going to find him. Glacial Path does fly down.
Yeah, they have to respect each and every one of them. Easy Hoon does have flash. Any one can mean an engage or a team fight.
And SMLZ is going to have to really be on the ball, getting away from Long, getting away from Dandy, getting away from Easy Hoon, and avoiding P's damage. Not to mention Caveman and his assortment of CC. Oh, there's the ultimate. Okay, all of the vision dies, and Curtain Call is just used.
He must have caught Kog'Maw walking in. If they had gotten a successful ulti on on SMLZ, that could have meant a massive opening in the game. So it was a good look. Jin ulti is on a fairly low cooldown, especially with Youmuu's and the...
Well, he doesn't actually have, it's only got 10%.
Yeah, actually. Nothing else, just the 10%. But in general, has a fairly low CD.
Yeah. Now looking for the more of Malmortius by the looks of things, something like that, unless he wants QSS to get out of a stray Scatter the Weak stun.
Nice,
SMLZ going to get killed by a Baron.
That's what happens.
That is not where the oven wanted to go.
That's what happens when you have Runan's Hurricane and you try to help out the rest of the team in the vision battle.
Yeah.
Hit something else with the auto attack you sent forth. So hope Vici didn't see that. That could mean a lot of free pressure, and it turns out the next Cloud Dragon, actually.
Yeah, so Cloud Dragon is going to fall down. Is going to mean that OMG know Vici are not around that Baron area. Caveman looking to head back to base. Xiang threw a little kitten down in the area. Otherwise not too much, as the next dragon is going to be that Elder Drake. He's going to augment a lot of movement speed for OMG out of combat, as well as a little bit more Baron and tower damage here for Vici, which is going to be good, evening things up. So we have a look in with the items. Curious Scimitar looks to be the next item for SMLZ, as Frozen Heart and the Spirit Visage are done here for Xiang. Big 3 items for the big tanky Maokai.
Yeah, and so this game has been really just been focused around these towers, especially these waves and the side waves, but mostly this mid tower. A lot of sieging happening. Not a lot of focus on the dragons coming through, because we have been seeing a lot of cloud dragons that have been stacking up.
Yeah.
That's fair and fun, but Baron now is a major point, a major issue to look towards. 31 minutes in. Any team can really start to look to threaten here.
And Icon now has that 3-item spike that we were talking about last game. Important here for the Syndra. Still hasn't quite found his feet on the champion so far. Did find a cheeky kill earlier. He's still looking for these Scatter the Weak stuns, as OMG setting themselves up for some sort of engage.
It's interesting that we do see a Locket of the Iron Solari on the Shen. Knows that he doesn't need much to pressure his own lane. So he's going to be building towards teamfight with a fairly cheap item. As the game goes on, this is going to be fairly detrimental for him.
Well, in the split push scenario, will be a problem. We'll see whether it helps negate the damage from OMG, though, as Vici looking for a possible engage. No stun comes in, and Caveman doesn't quite find the pulverize. Good exhaust as the ultimate gets way over the wall. Good positioning as SMLZ now looking for a flanking play. Xiang's going to turn it in exactly the right position. And now Long's in trouble. SMLZ untouched in the backline, but oh my god, Dandy gets over. They lock down the Graves. Easy Hoon gets on top. SMLZ still alive for the moment and getting into a decent position, but Icon is going to get singled out. The double kill comes in now for Easy Hoon. It is 1 kill back for the Cogmore, but that's a triple. Xuan P picks one up as well, and Vici go to the Baron.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they can even go for this right now. They're all fairly squishy.
Oh, so low as well.
I'm not sure about this one.
I've seen this mistake before.
There's no one to contest, so if they can actually go for it. Okay.
Oh my goodness, that was close.
Blinking HP bars from everyone involved. But see, theoretically this was great for OMG. OMG was able to pressure in, but you have to respect the flash W ult hits the burst from Easy Hoon. You have to respect it because it does so much damage. Easy Hoon ever able to pretty much take the fight alone.
Yeah, just ridiculous. And Xuan P just able to wander around, uses his heal, saves Easy Hoon's life as the Akathian surprise came down, and once again OMG find themselves dealing with a Baron buff. SMLZ did try his very hardest to get enough damage in that fight, but it just flat out wasn't.
And it really all started from the pick on Graves. Able to zero in on him. He had to use his ulti to escape behind the wall. Not able to output as much damage, especially since he's supposed to be the carry here.
Oh, wow. Deadly Flourish starting to do some work here for Xuan P. He's out of turret now under fire. SMLZ caught farming on the bottom side. Long and Dandy can't quite find the follow-up kill as teleport from Easy Hoon gets him in there, but doesn't get him a kill.
Does get them this tower, though.
Yeah, this inner turret is not long for the world. Outer, of course, falling in the mid lane as well, and Vici continue to push their lead forward. Close to 5,000 gold. As thankfully, SMLZ was able to pick up that Mercurial Scimitar. Only one more item slot remains for the Cogmore. See what it decides to pick up. Easy Hoon joins Xuan P in the mid lane. Clear out this wave. Jue avoids the Deadly Flourish this time. It's not ignorable. Xiang putting a body in front of this turret. They're trying to defend. It's looking more and more difficult as this game goes on.
Yeah. And so, looks like Vici's on the doorstep of really solidifying that 4th place spot. Denying LGD, which feels like a thing that's been happening between Vici and LGD.
Yeah.
Playoffs of last year. Fairly difficult for LGD. I'm fairly certain they're the ones that got knocked out by Vici.
Last split. Possibly, yes.
Yeah, so I have to check on that.
Wait, looking to lock down his blue buff. It's Icon, steals it away, throws it around. Does get that kill, but EasyHoon now with his Rabbidan's Death Cap as well as his Zonya's Hourglass, he's looking so frightening. Just needs to finish the Void Staff. And the Lissandra is well and truly locked and loaded. SMLZ about 1 billion attack speed, which is good.
Better believe that last item Lissandra's looking for is the Void Staff.
Yeah.
All you really need to pretty much go into the back line and output so much damage. And it seems like they got another pick here.
Yeah, 5 is going to get caught out. Xuan P picks up that kill. Uses the ultimate to great effect. And now Elder Drake's being started by Vici. Baron buff still on them. OMG looking to try and get into position. Shui nowhere near. This is just going to get taken down. The ultimate timed okay. It's not going to work. It's hard to steal from Dandy.
It really is. This has been a great moment, a great set for Dandy.
Oh, yeah.
Dandy able to just take set after game and show his worth as a jungler, but more so, honestly, as a team player. The rest of the team has been playing incredibly well, able to help out Xuan P this game. Xuan P, he's 5-3-10.
Yeah.
Should not be 5-3-10. Beginning of the game was very difficult for him as we get this fight.
Yeah, here's the engage. Icon gets headbutt pulverized, but Dandy's taking a lot of damage. SMLZ safe in the backline. It's going to be locked down by Shui. You can see Exhaust comes in. It's a shutdown onto EasyHoon. It's all going wrong for Vici as SMLZ wants Xuan P. He's going to get followed down and destroyed. Double kill comes in and Shui launches himself forward. Long the last man. This is going to be OMG's revenge.
These are 50-second timers. What are they going to do with it? This is the tower. It has to be an in-hit, possibly.
Yeah, teleport is going to be used there by Xion. Gets himself towards the top side, smacks the tower with his branches, and that will be locked down. Long, can he defend against 5 members of OMG is the question. Shui just wanders up to the turret, happy to tank it if he can, as this wave, yeah, you're right, is gigantic. SMLZ will tear this apart. Inhibitor will be taken immediately afterwards.
No, they can't be going for the game.
Are they?
They can't be going for the game.
OMG looking for it. Lung doesn't have any damage to follow this one up. First Nexus turret under fire as he's trying to save it.
Kill.
Lung is going to die as now Dandy turns up. The Banshee's Veil is going to fall. Caveman, can he get in there? Shui knocked out of the way. Caveman, will he do it? EasyHoon, can he be the hero? Takes down Icon. SMLZ is going to get rid of Dandy. Flashes. EasyHoon, can he do it? He does.
They save the game.
And Xiong now going to try and fight him. Zonya's comes through to avoid the Acathian surprise. And now Vici, after a pentakill for EasyHoon, look to turn it all around again.
And look at this bot lane wave. It's massive. With 40-second death timers, you have to think that they'll try and answer.
That is one Nexus turret on about nothing. As EasyHoon just will teleport in. He's just going back to get some health.
Good God. As I was complimenting Vici, they get caught out in a disastrous team fight. OMG could have ended the game off of that.
Yeah.
They still possibly can. Anything is possible. They have Syndra, they have the Kog'Maw pick and Graves if they get the opportunity once again. If Vici give this away, they'd be giving off quite possibly their playoff hopes. It's still alive, but they can seal the deal right here.
This is crazy. And now the fact that they have one Nexus turret remaining, any more mistakes from Vici feels like game over.
Yeah. I mean, they lost that inhib, and that tower's protecting that Nexus has almost no HP left to it.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure is going to be on towards this Baron, so at the very least, Vici's lucky that this happened on the top side of the map and not the bot side. Or else they would have to really start to face this a possible split push threat.
Yeah. SMLZ now has his final item. That's a Ginsu's Rageblade picked up. Item number 6. He's got 4 attack speed items. This Kog'Maw is so big. could not want for any more apart from a victory at this stage.
How is he going to survive, though? He's going up against...
He's going to life-steal himself to safety.
An 11 to an 8. Lissandra and EasyHoon able to pick up that... What's a pentakill?
Whoa. Yeah,
Oh.
EasyHoon got the pentakill,
No
but look
way.
at this Baron melt. Dandy wants to try and get the steal as SMLZ tanks up a whole host of damage. They are right in there. The Baron's still
waiting
doing
on
work.
his
Sway's
cooldown.
right in the back of the pit, but it's the Prince of Thieves that locks down the Baron. SMLZ, fantastic
SMLZ.
QSS. As you can see, Xiang in the backline, but SMLZ
They're
just
far
gets
too tanky.
collapsed on by everyone. Vici now looking to close this one out. Zonya's for EasyHoon just styling on OMG at this point. Good slow from Icon, but he's running the wrong way. Everything going wrong. The rest of Vici just running towards the base. There is an open inhibitor on the bottom side. But no, they are just going to try and lock down Icon if they can. He just wanted to win the game if he could. But it's going to be EasyHoon picking up yet another kill. And it's Caveman's job to chase Xiang.
It's very smart from Icon to lead the rest of the team towards that downed inhib on the top side. Basically saying that if you look to end the game, I can still shepherd this wave in to the Nexus. But you have to think that this game is looking fairly dim.
It's looking very grim. SMLZ is about to respawn. Inhibitor's going to fall on the mid. And it's a 10,000 gold lead once again. OMG, they've seen this before. They've been in this position. They've fought back. It still does feel like this game is not about money. It's not about the gold. There's a Rabbidan's Death Cap, as well as the Zonyas, the Void Staff, the Morellonomicon. There's only one more item slot for Icon to worry about. SMLZ's done. You just got one more to be picked up by Xuan P. Xiang's got his GA available.
But he just hasn't been a factor to EasyHoon. EasyHoon has been playing. He's been on point all game, all set.
Yeah.
He's been doing incredibly well. And
Games
so
2 and 3 have honestly been.
Yeah.
It's all about this Lissandra play.
Exactly. It's been theoretically hit or miss, right?
Yeah.
You either win or you lose with it. And he's just been making exceptional plays off of it. SMLZ almost never has an opportunity to walk up. And so one of the bigger points is that OMG needs to start communicating with SMLZ a lot more. Every time they start their fights or get taken out of position, his cooldown on his W is always just out. It's poor timing. Kog'Maw is essentially out of the fight, has to walk in a little further, not able to do as much damage, simply because of when they choose these fights or when they choose to walk in.
Well, right now, OMG looking to try and defend their bottom open inhibitor. Mid lane does need to be tended to, and Lung is doing work on the top side. There's an inner turret that he can still take for the free money. As SMLZ once again throws out the W. Will have it off cooldown a lot, as they do get the added crit bonus from the Zeke's Harbinger.
Yeah. Zeke's Harbinger is a great pick. Of course, now he's using his extended range to wave clear. So this could be a next picked fight whenever it's off cooldown.
Yeah, and that is going to be a pause at an inopportune time here. Everything feels so incredibly tense.
Yeah.
In this game at the moment.
And just take a look at him. Like, this game has just been about Kog'Maw at this point. The introduction of the champion, the entire idea of playing in and around Kog'Maw has simplified the game quite a bit to dive and anti-dive.
Yeah, exactly right. It's about who can peel for these carries and who can get EasyHoon the heck out of the team fights. And we saw there was a fight where EasyHoon just got deleted. Nothing he could do. But then there were the fights when he gets pentakills and destroys everyone.
Yeah, it feels like this game could just end at any moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, Vici were on the trail. Still are. But they could have ended that game, and then they just get aced, and it feels like OMG is going to go for it. And I mean, they do. But just not able to get the extra damage. Honestly, it felt like a bit of an overextension.
Yeah, it was so close to OMG actually being able to take down that Nexus, though. That Nexus turret was on 2 hits from dead. If SMLZ had any spare time with that Nexus, if they had been able to peel maybe a little bit more effectively, that could have been the Nexus falling down. It did feel like it was an opportunity for OMG to go for that win. So I do admire them for doing it. But the play from these peeling utility champions out of the Rex side, the Alistair from Vici, really beautiful to deny that from happening.
Well, honestly, when it comes down to what you want to do, right? Because if you, OMG, yeah, they could have gone for that Nexus, and they tried to, but they had split calls where you know that you're going to be getting people coming in challenging you, especially with the death timers not being that long. So you have to commit to going for those skirmishes that you can win. You have the numbers. But then you have situation where Xiang's just smacking the Nexus turret as Maokai when he should be looking to peel for his backline. And the backline just looking to just pretty much save themselves.
Yeah. And is it now up to OMG to try and start a fight, stop the rest of their base falling down? Is it the onus on them, or is the onus on Vici to have to come to them and then OMG react?
Yeah, it has to be like it's the latter of that. OMG need to react to the plays that Vici do because they can't start their own plays unless if they get the necessary TP flanks. So maybe, yeah, sure, if you can get the TP flanks, if it works out for you, if you can finally get the waves shoving out, then you can look for that play. Otherwise, you need to start playing reactively here.
Well, they're currently reacting to this push by Vici. They still do have the Baron buff as this inhibitor just getting obliterated. Xuan P, that last crit. Tears it apart. In goes Caveman. SMLZ instant QSS flash. There's now 5 getting stunned up. Amazing placement of Caveman to try and deny, but Easyhoon down very low. Icon falls to Long as Easyhoon gets taken down. Shui is right up there. The heal comes out of SMLZ and he's trying to heal it through. He's cutting it out. He's still alive. Oh my God, Dandy! Long, Xiang and Shui are going to be able to finish off this fight, and OMG come out ahead.
They have to be able to. There we go. That was fantastic. JJ is finally coming through. Xiang untouched. But what will this mean? The only thing they can really do is protect their towers.
Yeah, push out
these
their waves.
They can't look to threaten this game, but JJ is just walking forward.
He wants to try and grab the inhibitor. We'll see whether he can get there, but let's have a look at this fight again. SMLZ stayed at such low health for so long.
Yeah. And that's the threat. You have to be able to instantly burst him because he can sustain straight back up. And so Easyhoon was able to get focused down, had to save himself. Zonya's assassinated essentially by Joy and Xiang. But SMLZ able to just take down these, do so much damage with so little HP.
Just insane. That's what having triple lifesteal as well as the Zeke's Harbinger. That's what that does.
Oh.
As now, as we get back in, the inhibitor was unable to be taken. Zhuizhui is still alive, so didn't die for his efforts. But OMG unable to capitalize at all. And they still lost their inhibitor. Look at that. Over 10,000 damage done by Zhuizhui that fight.
This is insane.
That is the highest damage number I have seen in one of these graphs so far.
He was just able to output so much damage for free because Kog'Maw is the main focus. Syndra is the main focus. They weren't able to output that much damage. It seems like even though I thought that Syndra was able to burst down Easyhoon, it wasn't Syndra. It was apparently a fat Graves.
Well, the Graves now has a GA on him as well. There's a GA instead of boots for SMLZ. This is what the late game feels like.
It's a game of wave clear here. OMG is actually just laying down a lot of confidence because they do have bot lane shoving in on them. They need to start, or at least they need to continue to upkeep these lanes. A lot of lane maintenance, especially since Long is able to just shove in with his Titanic Hydra. Yeah. It's a game of waves at this point, not so much about gold.
Well, you can see 6 items done for everyone on the side of Vici, apart from the next upgrade, that Glacial Shroud to possibly the Frozen Heart for Caveman. I feel like Frozen Heart would probably be a good idea against a champion that can go above the attack speed cap. Prob's important.
A little bit.
He also has just so much survivability now with the GA. Having to kill that Kog'Maw twice when we saw how much lifesteal he had. have to save the CC when he gets out.
The Deadman's plates coming from Shen and Rek'Sai are starting to bite them now that we're heading into the 48-minute mark.
Yeah.
They have a lot of early game strength, mid-game strength more so. But as the game goes on, those stats really don't mean all too much.
Ooh, Vici actually going to back away from this Baron. I thought they might just be able to burst that one down, but they decide not to. Playing it safe as much as possible. So now OMG will have to deal with super creeps moving in on the bottom side of the map. They do have an inhibitor back up in the mid lane. It is only one lane, but they are still going to do work to these Nexus turrets. Vici know this.
Yeah, Vici is in a power play here. The wave smacking down. Maokai can respond to it. He can look to get it. He does have TP, but what that means is that OMG can never walk into this river towards Baron Pit.
Easy Hoon is actually backing as well. Vici start off this Baron once again.
They
Easy Hoon already back in.
They recognize that Maokai actually can't come into the fight. He has to deal with these multiple super minions coming in and another wave as well. This should be a free Baron for Vici.
Well, Baron is going to go down. Dandy's going to lock it up as Zhuezhui uses his QSS, gets himself out 5, dashes over to him, and Vici say, well, we got the Baron. We're happy to leave.
Yes, OMG have to keep giving these Barons away, have to keep giving pressure away. They want to take the game back, but they simply can't. Now they're looking towards this Elder Dragon.
Oh my goodness, going for what feels like a desperation play, honestly, on the side of OMG. They back away from him immediately. Dandy has picked up the aggro. And we'll see whether Vici just decide to go for this one as well. Another pause. So now you can see SMLZ on your screen one more time. So incredibly intense, but Vici just playing so patiently towards this late game. And OMG looking like they're the ones that are floundering with what decision to make in order to get themselves back into this game. The gold, irrelevant right now. There are 6 items on every single person here. You don't need to be feeling like that. It's about what position is your base in? What can you then put pressure on? As you can see, Easy Hoon looking cool, calm, and collected as per usual.
Well, he's going to have to be cool, calm, and collected because onus is on Vici.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah, sure, OMG have put on a lot of pressure, able to kite back and win out these team fights they should not be winning, right?
Yeah.
But that's honestly because Vici's pushing too far forward sometimes, but most importantly, they haven't been playing as patiently as they should.
Yeah, and we'll see whether they can get it back on track because right now they're in a really sticky situation. They have to work out whether they want to defend their base, get down there, stop those super creeps from coming in, or whether they want to defend this Elder Drake that's being taken down. Because if there's super creeps heading into the base as well as a team full of Elder Drake, that is going to tip things in favor of that team far further than it was in that fight that we saw on the bottom side of the map, which was still incredibly close.
Yeah, that was a small situation where Maokai was able to actually, for sure, he cleared up the bottom lane, and now he can actually walk towards the fight, so that was a possible fight that could have happened, right?
Yeah.
But Vici's playing this well. They're not taking fights that they don't need to.
And right now, they're just clearing out vision around this area, still buying time, but Inhibitor has respawned. The question is, will it die to the super creeps that are crashing in on top of it? Teleport comes down as Lung is going to make his way in. And OMG just waiting for them to take damage from this Elder Drake, but it's just not.
Oh, bot lane isn't threatened. They do need to
the collateral
answer this
damage
now.
doesn't do it. Dandy locks down the Elder Drake. They were going for some sort of steal, but it doesn't happen. Now Icon going to try and clean this one up. He's going to do so. Super Minion got a little bit confused, decided to try and kill an immune Nexus turret.
Just smacking it.
Yep. Not going to really work out. Now, Elder Drake, Vici, Baron on Vici. Massive amounts of pushing waves coming in for Vici. Everything that they could possibly want is here.
Yeah.
Now, all they have to do is win the game.
Elder Dragon, of course, does give you quite a bit. I don't even need to tell you how much it gives you. But one weakness, of course, is that once you're back with the Elder Dragon, you don't have a lot of time to be able to utilize it.
Well, it's already worn off.
Yeah, it's still on
wait,
there.
No, it's still there. It's just pulsating.
Yeah. It's just
halfway done.
I would usually say that OMG can look to play away from it, not say much damage, but exactly they are forced to take that damage because they're playing towards their inhibs at the moment.
Yeah. And I think OMG will probably have to just give these up. That is just, yeah, ridiculous. There's the curtain call. Xuan creating some space. As there's the headbutt pole, but Caveman doesn't quite find the targets they're looking for. Zhuizhui needs to get back to the fountain. This is going to mean 2 inhibitors dead.
Yeah, for sure.
For OMG. As can Vici get more pressure on? Are they even going to, as Vici decide not to quite kill it? Turn it around, afterthought. Take that one down. Not going to have too much more time on this Baron buff, though. The Elder Drake is about to wear off. The last remaining inhibitor, the next target here for Vici, and can they utilize their next moment of power in order to make sure that they can take this one down? Because 3 inhibitors just so hard to come back from. 2 feels like OMG have the opportunity to get things done, but
pressure upon pressure. Question is whether they are going to have Elder Dragon for this tower. Answer is no.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, that was the
GA's
execution
popped,
damage.
Yeah, from the Duskblade of Drakthar. That's going to spell the tower in a 5v4 situation for Vici. Xiang looking to get himself into position.
That's another inhibitor.
Try and start this one up. So that is going to be 3. SMLZ gets himself back in there. The auto attacks are now down from the Cogmore, but that is 3 inhibitors dead. And no response from OMG. They could not find the fight that they wanted.
53 minutes into the game, you knocked down 3 inhibitors. And it feels like Jin right now is popping off. How can they lose this? That's the real question. Because they've lost a few fights that they should not have. It's 53 minutes, and 1 lost team fight means the end of the game.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. And it feels, honestly, like as soon as they win a fight, if they can win a fight with SMLZ, Xiang, and, you know, maybe someone that can wave clear alive, they can still run up the map.
Yeah. OMG have gotten to this point before, especially against RNG.
Yeah.
It feels as if OMG, they're accustomed to this 50-minute gameplay. So perhaps this is in their ball court, though they have 3 inhibs down.
He crits for 1,600 a bullet.
Yeah, Jin at this point of the game does too much.
He does so much. But SMLZ also tears through any neutral structure so much. Look at this. OMG went back and bought double Z0 portal.
Oh, God. This is the OMG way.
This is it. This is turtle strategies. Look, they even look a little bit like turtles.
Well, I mean, at this point of the game, they're forcing you to fight OMG. OMG is forcing you. You cannot rest on just the super minions doing the work. You have to fight with your super minions, and they're never letting them converge. They're basically challenging Vici to come in for 1 last team fight.
Yeah, and Vici are like, well, we got a minute 40 on Baron. We're going to head over to that guy.
Vici are so uncomfortable with starting this team fight, especially Xuan P does an incredible amount of damage. I don't even need to tell you how much damage Easyhoon does, but they're just not comfortable with it.
No.
And it makes sense because this game does mean the world to them right now.
Yeah, this is a big deal. OMG as well, this is their chance to get away from that promotion relegation match. We mentioned it before. I thought maybe you might have forgotten because it's been quite some time. This game, of course, approaching an hour long. SMLZ now has a black cleaver picked up as well. He decided to sell his wit's end, wants to get that one instead. But pushing into this Cogmore is actually so hard. Zhuizhui waiting for his GA.
Mostly the
Xiang!
Oh.
He started up the fight. Caveman's going to be the target, but Xiang's just melting. Long gets over the top as Dandy looks for a knock-up. SMLZ dodging away from a lot of these Vici members, but Easyhoon gets on top of him. There's the QSS flashes. Vici now underneath Nexus turrets and will fall down to his GA. That is Jin picking up a kill. Massive CC onto SMLZ, and he's going to be taken down. Easyhoon takes down 5 GAs. Now going to get them back up, but in go Vici, looking to secure their playoff hopes and a 4th place in a 56-minute bloodbath in the end there. Nexus is going to fall down, and OMG definitely made them work for it.
It was a scary, scary game 3, but Vici finally do it. A sigh of relief. They finally end LGD's run, lock in that 4th place, that final spot in their group in the playoffs.
And LGD would be looking on incredibly sad. Of course, it hasn't been a playoff run without LGD for quite some time. We're used to them making those glory runs.
Yep.
But unfortunately, unable to happen. We're not going to see LGD at Worlds this time around. 2016 could possibly belong to Vici now, as they've got themselves in the first round of that gauntlet. A well-deserved bout for this team. What an incredible bout against OMG in that game. And coming up against a late-game Cogmore like that, SMLZ playing out fantastically. You saw those QSS flashes, him able to get out of the way of so much, but able to come out on top.
Yeah, and you really had to play perfectly. You really had to play perfectly, right? You got the pentakill. They lost that. They almost lost that game numerous times.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't execute extremely well, if Caveman didn't get the multiple headbutt pulverizes to continue the fight, then Kog'Maw would clean up. Syndra would be able to get that multiple stun going, and of course, you can't forget the Graves.
Yeah, exactly right. And Zhuezhui actually doing over 10,000 damage in a team fight. You can show that, you know, Zhuezhui's late game Graves play has always been fantastic, but really was on display this time around. And that early game also went disastrously wrong on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah.
That first blood that was gained so easily by SMLZ, they were able to get the Cogmore into such a comfortable position. But I was so impressed by Xuan P and the fact that he played out the game so calm, cool, and collected, got himself to 6 items, critted people's face off for about 1,600 damage per bullet. Just so much work to be done in the late game by the Jhin.
Yeah, usually I would, you know, praise the Jhin and being able to get away from that point, right?
Yeah.
Because now at this point, it feels so far back. You don't even remember that play. that he was really getting completely dominated in. But it mostly was on the back. I would say, yeah, sure, they lane swap, but Dandy really did a lot to then just focus towards bot side and ward. It felt like he saved them.
Yeah, it was. We are going to have a look at today's results as it started off with LGD falling to the hands of RNG in a 2-1 series. It was hard fought towards the end there, but RNG just looking too dominant, especially with Ashe coming out of Uzi. OMG then unable to take down Vici as we finish up our 6 games of the day. Vici securing that 4th place in Group B and getting themselves into those playoffs. And what it has done to the standings is RNG guaranteed 1st place.
Yep.
WE 2nd place. IMA in that 3rd position, and Vici now going to be 4th. Vici can still challenge for IMA's 3rd position. So of course things still able to move around as WE, if they lose, I believe IMA can possibly catch up to them as well. So still some flux, but LGD locked in that 5th place, unless OMG can beat them on Sunday.
Yeah.
In which case they will be able to Saturday, they will be able to take over their position. But tomorrow it is going to be Saint taking on Snake, and then, of course, even more LPL action to follow. So going to be an incredible week, and Week 10 is just such a big deal because the playoff positions are still not sorted. That gauntlet run, we only know 3 places now. It's RNG, EDG in that top spot, and then Snake 2nd in Group A. That is it.
See, because you look at that standing, and you're like, ah, well, there goes that Cinderella story for LGD, right? But now you still got IG still rolling.
That's what I'm talking about.
So anything's possible on that front.
Yeah, we are going to have a look at the MVP from that last fight, though, as it's EasyHoon that picked up the pentakill to save the game.
Yep.
Had phenomenal backline impact. And just, in general, being a brilliant Lissandra player.
Oh, look at this fight. This was a fight that he was able to save out completely. I understand that. But that was OMG, quite honestly, having poor comms or just focus fire even before his entry into that fight, because they took a lot of damage before he was able, EasyHoon was able to get in that fight.
Yeah, and it was also a little bit unfortunate they're all grouping up themselves as well. I mean, fan out around the Nexus. Give everyone a chance to beat on that thing if you can get to it. Like, these are opportunities that you can go for. If you want to go all in on a play, then you may as well go all in, because EasyHoon was going to try and get that pentakill regardless. If you're all going to group up, he's definitely going to get it.
Well, OMG, our team, that they do like to group up quite a bit. We saw it in game 2. We saw it in game 3. Kind of bit them a little bit, so Lissandra was able to do quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, she most certainly was. But that is going to bring us to the end of the night tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in tomorrow as we have a look at Group A and everything that they can bring. So thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.